Hola amigos, my name is Daniel and I am doing a preview of Joyride Survival of the Fastest for our family plays games. Joyride Survival of the Fastest is a competitive game from 2 to 4 players and it plays for around 45 minutes. This game and video is sponsored by Rebellion Unplugged and it is a game coming to Kickstarter pretty soon actually, August 15th. Now, here's Starla to give you an overview on the game, and I will see you on the other side.
Crash, blast, and race your way to victory around customizable tracks in the adrenaline-fueled frenzy of Joyride. Joyride, Survival of the Fastest, is a fast-paced 2 to 4 player racing game in which you do whatever it takes to beat your opponents through the gates and to the finish line, whether that be through skillfully weaving your way around the track or bashing your opponents out of the way to claim victory. Sometimes the fastest route to the finish line is through everyone else.
Alright, thank you Starla for that overview. Now, Joyride Survival of the Fastest is a racing game in which you do whatever, and I mean it, whatever it takes for you to cross that finish line first. You can decide to show off your skills around the map, or you can decide to lose all sense of respect and literally just bash into other players to get them out of the way and claim that victory that you so much desire. The game is meant for you to feel like you are in the driver's seat of an intense car race, and it feels that way. You have to take into account that the road conditions and the items will change every race. So you just have to be prepared for everything. The setup for every track will allow you to place obstacles around the map, and the checkpoints are going to change, so every race is going to feel different. I just imagine myself building this crazy track in which just destruction is all over the place. Okay, now let's talk about the artwork and components of Joyride Survival of the Fastest. This game looks awesome. This game has a really strong table presence. I mean, look at this cover. Looking at the artwork on this cover makes me just want to play this game immediately. I particularly appreciate the color scheme that they use throughout the whole game. It has this psychedelic, bright colors, 80s feel to it, and it's just everywhere on this game. Now, this is a prototype and some things might change, although I feel like it's really close to the final product. Just remember that it is all subject to change, and what I'm showing you right now, it doesn't reflect the component quality of the final product that you are going to get once the Kickstarter comes out. There are some things that I know from my prototype are going to change, like the damage slots on the player board, and also they are gonna make some improvements on the board to provide clarity to the players. But other than that, I'm super happy with everything else. The cards have different designs. I'm also super happy that the dice, they just roll well and they are really easy to read. The player boards have a space for everything, and the artwork, which I really like, doesn't get on the way for the usability of the boards. And the components are just cool. Okay, to finish this talk, before you start playing, you are going to choose a track layout. The game actually comes with a what's called a race guide booklet, which has a variety of track setups and also variants that you can play with. There are several options to pick and they all take into account player count. Every round, players will take a turn, and that turn is divided into 5 different steps, which you can always find right here on your player 8. You will be able on your turn to log dice results, which then will help you move that many spaces on the board. You can also shift your gear up and down, which actually determines the quantity of dice that you can use throughout the whole race. You will then use your newly acquired dice or the dice that you did not log to actually roll and then move that many spaces on the board. Depending on the step that you are in, you are going to be able to use your driver's abilities, which are actually going to help you break the rules in the game. When you cross a checkpoint that has this little tiny symbol here, it's going to give you the chance to pick up items that you can use right away against your opponents. You can find mines that you can drop right behind your car to hinder players that are coming right behind you. You can also find rockets which you can shoot right straight at your opponents to force them to slow down. And to be honest with y'all, this gameplay reminds me of old school video game racing games. This is just exactly like that. Chaotic and destruction and just fun. Now, in the game, you will get to the point that you cannot help it and you won't be able to stop yourself from smashing into everything. You can rear end another car. You can also hit head on another player. And this is just so cool. You can hit a car from the side to push it out of the way just so you can keep going, you can just keep going straight. You're forcing somebody out of the way. However, with all of this happening, you are gonna get damaged. Damage tokens are going to permanently cover your player board, which will hinder your car during the race. These damage tokens can make you lose the dice that you can use during the race, and you can also you will be forced to sometimes to not use those items that you grab during the race, and the damage tokens will prevent you from using them. At this point, after everything, all you have to remember is that you need to cross that finish line first so you can win the game and be the winner in Joyride Survival the Fastest. Amigos, I know there's a lot going on, but I just want to remind you that Joyride Survival the Fastest is coming to Kickstarter on August 15th. And please, please, do not take my word for it. Go check out the project for yourself. See if your family and or game group will like it. And if this game is interesting to you, please go to their Kickstarter page and show them some love. Again, this is Daniel for Our Family Plays Games. And if you want to see more of me, you can find me in OFPG Voices. And you can also find me in Tlacuaches.enlamesa. And I will see you in the next one. Adios!